Kevin from Trees and Trends, and this is our traditional Thanksgiving theme called Give Thanks. The title is simple, but our setting is just layered with lots of interesting pieces and textures to give your home that nice, warm Thanksgiving fall feeling. Let's start off with the table and what I've done there. First off, you'll notice on the backs of the chairs, the host and hostess chairs, I've done simple tea towels. They don't always have to be in the kitchen, and their longer length is great to just toss over something to give that special message and just a little bit of a holiday touch. Now, table settings themselves, I started off with a hand-woven placemat and then a plaid napkin that goes along with it in the same color tones, which this color tone happens to be called Hayride, another fun thing for late summer and fall. Our place settings themselves, we have a burlap covered charger plate which gives you plenty of texture. Now then our other place settings, we have the taupe dinner plate here which has a nice lace design around it. And then we have our turkey plates. Now these come in a set of 4 with a larger platter. Great value, and always remember you can take dessert or salad plates and add to any other set, mix and match, just to give that unique feel. And then of course we have our fun napkin holders with place cards attached. Now these do have the napkin holder as you see here. You can just slide your napkin in a roll through it, or just use solely as place card holders as I've done here, and write on your chalkboard surface. Now I have used chalk pens. We all know, of course, chalk itself is thicker and a little bit difficult to write smaller things on. So I've used these chalk markers. These I get the feeling they're actually like a tempera paint like we all used in grade school when we were painting things. But they're great in the Magic Marker series, and you can write things on them. They work well on outdoor fabrics such as your fall flags, Christmas flags, anything that you may want to write on or personalize. They also work well on glass, plastic, any hard surface, and just simply wipe off with a wet wipe or any damp cloth. Now, moving on, your centerpiece really is very simple. I've just used this mercury glass vase. This, just to give it a bit of added sparkle and glow, I've dropped one of the small sets of wire lights with the timer down inside, so it just gives me a little bit of light through every night and just brings your attention to the table. Then after that we've got fabric pumpkins. We have metal pumpkins in a copper finish with a votive in those. Those are also on a timer. And then just scattered pears about. So you've got that fall harvest feel with something just really simple and easy to add interest to your table and that anyone can do. Now, moving on, here beside the fireplace, we have our large pumpkin topiary frame. Now these are great for outdoors or in if you've got the space. Here all I've done is laid a grapevine wreath in the bottom, and I have a galvanized container which I've set my mums in and my lantern. Moving on to the mantle. For the mantelpiece itself, I have used one of our mixed pine mantelpieces, which you can see on our website as well as in the stores, thicker in the middle and tapered out to the ends. And then I've gone from there using natural jute ribbon, burlap ribbon, paper ribbon that looks like birch bark, and then added in pods and leaves as well as grapevine. Bring that natural element indoors. To the sides, I've used, rather than a longer garland that drapes down, I've used these short 32-inch teardrops, and of course done just a fun scarecrow on it, and again more of the ribbon and preserved leaves and different nuts and things for there. Now the center portion, my fire screen in this instance, I've used an outdoor planter, and this pumpkin, which I've also got some on the tree, is a yard stake. These are of metal, wonderful crackle finish, lightweight, great stakes so they'll fit down in your yard and stay, and also a great price all the way from this smaller size, more usable for multiple projects, up to the larger. So they'll really stand out in your flower beds or by your entry. Top that off, of course, you see our artwork up here, which was part of the inspiration for our color scheme. You've got all of those oranges and things that you normally think of in fall, mixed with some blues. You'll also see that blue repeated with the wall sconces over here on this other wall, and there's some blue in the rug as well. So you see that all pulled together, and you just don't normally think about pulling blue in with fall, but it really, really works. And of course, blue is a big element this year and on into 2016 as well. Now, moving on to the tree. I've used more floral in this tree this year than I have in several years now. Here I've pulled in things that look more dried. We have this very wispy spray that you really don't think about it adding anything when you look at it on its own, but when you look in the tree, you see it's subtle, but it really does add something. And then we've got these dry look pods throughout the tree, sunflowers that look a bit dried, as well as the other pods that are branching out. Wooden fall signs. Don't just think when you look at signs or pictures about them going on the wall. Think about using them in trees and wreaths, using them in different forms that you might normally. Deer antlers, whether they're real that you've collected or whether you're using resin ones as I've done here, bring that nature in. Of course, I started off with a base of the plastic mesh that you see here, and I've used two different ones. I've used a burgundy and a copper. Burgundy, of course, you don't normally think of pulling immediately for fall, but when you look at the fall leaves, you see lots of burgundies and reds. So experiment with burgundy to keep your fall tones fresh. Topping that off with burlap ribbon, with jute ribbon, with the paper ribbons, and then the linen, which linen is very, very popular right now. It gives great color tones, slightly softer, and again, more texture. This is all done on our Rochester tree, which is a beautiful, realistic tree. So all of these branches that you see, this could be on a fresh cut tree as you're seeing it here. And you can see the Rochester in our Christmas tree line on the internet as well. Now, we also have, just to add a little bit of interest, both here and on the fireplace, our hanging tea light holders. Now, these are just little metal holders in different lengths, and they're great to hang around. Use the battery tea lights on, especially when you're using them in this form. Otherwise, if you're using real tea lights, of course, it needs to be hanging where nothing can catch on fire. Now, moving on to our buffet area. Again, using something slightly different. This is a table runner, our Give Thanks. It gives you that chalkboard effect. Chalkboard is going to be huge this year. You're going to see it all throughout Christmas. Just the simple saying, give thanks, but sometimes simple is best. And of course, this is just folded over and draped over the piece, just to give you that different feel and different uses that you can use for things. Again, more pumpkins done in different textures. We've got the metal with the copper finish. We have the soft sculpture fabric ones. We have the twig owl. Lots of natural product both now and as we move into Christmas. You'll see lots of twig work going on. The wreath itself, it's grapevine wreath. Again, more of the dry look berries, nest, our quail sitting up there, as well as the deer antlers. And then one of our new door pieces. This is Door Decor. They're out of an outdoor nylon felt product. So they're great for hanging around, very inexpensive, give you lots of pop. You can work them into things to mix your decor or use them on their own. And of course, being flat, they're easy to store. And then our garland, that's one 9-foot garland, which works well over a double door, hanging down on each side. In this case, I mixed it with honeysuckle garland. You can also just cut fresh honeysuckle and let it dry and wind that throughout your garland as well. And then mixed in other burlap paper and linen elements to go along there. Now, our oak tree, This is done using one of the metal trellises. You see the metal trellises around and use them throughout your yard to let things grow up on, or your houseplants. In this case, I've turned it upside down and taken a hacksaw and just cut the first weld so that I could bend those prongs that you would normally stick down into the soil out to form my upper branches. After that, I've merely used zip ties and attached bare branches throughout on different locations, and then these are preserved leaves. Now this piece, you can quickly clip the zip ties and change out the seasons, but here I've used the packs of preserved leaves scattered all about to create a large oak tree decoration for the home. Add some pumpkins at the base like we've done here, and even the burlap pillow with the pillow wrap piece, which you can change out for the seasons. And there you have our Thanksgiving theme. So you can give thanks with us and get it all at Trees and Trends.